Charlie took me on a bit of a walk back in here. So this is just beside our coop here. And you can see that straw that Rod and I picked up. So we've put it up just to insulate and have somewhere to store it. And this was all stacked up against the coop. And Rue at 5 o'clock in the morning was crowing, and anyways, it looks like something has tried to climb this and knocked these all down. So something big enough that could do that, but that is actually makes me feel better because that means they're not trying to get in through the netting. And the netting's not even electrified right now. But, oh, hello there. Just coming to say hello. Hello. Hello, everyone. But that means that it is a deterrent to have that netting there, and it will be even more so once we get it electrified. So, just things to be aware of.
I have my trail cam now set up, and I'm gonna see whatever was there last night will more likely come tonight or tomorrow morning. So I'll get a glimpse of what it is and use appropriate measures after that. That fencing is still not energized, but it is next, whatever that means. Has to be done soon, because I got one chicken that likes to get out, and she loves bumming around this area.
So the garden's not totally ready, but the spots that are, I'm gonna start planting because we need to get stuff in the ground. girls spent the last night in the house. They're getting big. They're poking their heads out, they're so big. They keep knocking everything over. It's time for a big space. Time to get outside so they don't get eaten by this dude. Everyone's quite interested this morning, including the cats. And Rod. Yay! You get to go to your new home today. Outside. The kids are out of the house. They've been evicted. Yay! Look at how happy they are. Oh, they made it through their first night. Healthy and happy. Just bringing their food out to them.
So there we have it. Tarps on. They got lots of shade. And they'll have lots of sunshine. And what we're planning is this tractor moves. This one doesn't move as well as a normal tractor. I think I'm going to actually build one for the next ones. So you can move them around and you can tractor them to a different spot every day or every other day, and they'll eat up all this stuff. But when I have the topper attached to it, and this cage is not, it doesn't have wheels, it has these pins that holds it down, and it comes apart when you try to move it. It's not the best thing to use as a tractor, but it's definitely a great cage for them to have great airflow, be able to see everything. We'll be able to see them, and they have a place to go to be safe, keep warm when it's cold, and keep dry when it's raining. It's the most important thing. I'll get this energizer going, and that one over there as well on the other side, where I seem to have one or two chickens getting out, but they don't go far. Lots of predators coming out, sniffing around. You hear them, you hear coyotes at night, bears coming in, sightings of lynxes, and that's also going to bring out the fishers and the weasels and the possums and anything else that's around this area. And those things can get into, so if they did get in here, you know, there's a good chance that they may be able to weasel their way in. But sometimes, you know, you just have to you do the best you can and move on to the next thing, because we got many things that we need to get done this week, let alone this season. It's the first day of summer. Very strange up here. We haven't even got our garden in yet. Not totally. Liz is working hard at it, and we're working hard trying to get the garden in. And we've had people not get their gardens in until, you know, sometimes the first week of July, which seems very strange coming from southern Ontario. And they had a really good crop, really good yield for their garden. So Just because we're a little bit later doesn't mean that we're not going to get anything. So we're going to get used to this growing season and get used to everything going on, but you know what? You absolutely can't beat this. The weather's beautiful. Scenery's gorgeous. And everything's getting so green. Tuesday, June 21st, and I'm in the utility shed and we're working on solar today. So what we had before was these two batteries here alone. That was here when we got here. This Canadian Tire inverter. It's all a 12-volt system. And this charge controller. It's a little small for this system, and it's one of the reasons why I'm not getting the capacity out of what I have, but not the only reason. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 batteries, all hooked in parallel. Negative, negative, positive, positive, all the way. And I just hooked up this new charge controller. Solar controllers, MPPT is the kind of controller that you really should get, and it's pretty much mandatory when you're having a 24-volt system, which is what I'm setting up here now. The capacity for a 24-volt system just gives me the opportunity to run a lot more stuff on it. We plan on getting another freezer, maybe running our mini split air conditioner, and just normal things, running the pump for the water and our normal things. So that's what we have so far. That's the inverter on it now, and this is the inverter that's going on. This is a 3,000 watt solar engine inverter, and it's a 24 volt system rated as well. These are heavy duty. This is heavy duty equipment compared to what was on. What was on was working well for what it was, but when you want to go bigger, you have to get the better equipment. So that's what we're doing now. I had this from the bus, so we also have the four panels as well. So they're 5'6" long by 4'4" wide, and I have 4 of those. So right now, this is all I'm doing now. So what we have is the wires coming from the panels are here, and I have 3 panels right now. But as you can see, one of the panels has a little thinner wire on it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. I may have to replace that. I have extra wire with the panels that I got, but right now we're not running. That's 2.2 amps. The sun's kind of getting out of reach of my panels, so I get very low amp readings from 5:30 on, and from when the sun rises to about 11:30 I also get very, very low. So yeah, this is it. A little messy in here, but everything is set up, everything's solid, everything's tight. All these batteries are running good. The only thing is this inverter is going to be changed out, and check all the connections on there. It looks good. The one only thing that I'm going to do is there was a charger here, and just a 15 amp charger, and they had that on the system to charge the battery bank. Maybe 15 amps is good for a couple batteries. I'm not sure if it was, but I assume it worked for them. But now that I have 6 batteries in the system is getting a lot bigger. I'm getting another charger. So I'll be getting a 40 amp charger that's going to hook onto here. So the charger will be hooked onto this battery, and then that'll be plugged into here. So this here is my generator plug. So when I run the generator, so that goes all the way outside to the, runs to the generator shack. So when the generator runs, this plug is hot. This is active. So you plug the charger into here, and while the generator feeds me the power to run everything in my house, it also charges the battery bank. So the next day I'll have a full battery bank, or that night. So you don't have to run the generator all the time, just enough to give you what you need and charge the battery bank up, and then you got a bit of a head start. What you need to do is have enough of a battery bank and solar system to run everything that you needed at the very same time for 24 hours. If you don't allow for that, then you're shortchanging yourself on if it gets hot and you need to run a couple extra fans, then you're not going to have enough capacity to run those fans. Then you're going to have to decide on what else to shut off. So if you're doing it, you may as well do it right and make sure the system is big. And if I need to get more batteries, then I will. If I need to get more panels or switch out those small ones and just get all the 5.5 by 4.5 feet panels, that's what I'll do as well.
Today is Wednesday, June 22nd, officially first day of summer, and we still don't have our garden in. Anyways, gonna get to it. Working on it now. Yesterday I was not able to work in it. It was just too hot. Over 37 degrees, almost 38 degrees, and it was just way too hot. So the garden didn't get finished yesterday, and then Rod picked up some more compost for me today, and so hopefully we'll be able to get pretty close to finished. But we are going to use the area right here beside the garden where we want to extend the garden. We're going to till that up a little bit with our small little tiller, and that's where we're going to plant potatoes and a few other things. I'm gonna throw down some landscaping cloth and some of the same wood chips that we have, and see what happens. Let's get to it. Already weeds. As you can see, I've been pulling weeds. So I'm gonna put down more cardboard where I see most of the weeds coming up, and then put the soil over top. And hopefully that keeps those weeds down. As you can see, we still don't have our netting electrified because I just had to catch 2 chickens. I didn't really catch them. I just got them back into the netting.
You know, looking at these guys, these chickens, they're growing and they're eating and they're doing it for us. We're gonna be processing these in 5 weeks. And these cute little chicks that we spent all this time on, giving them feed and everything else, and undoubtedly growing attached, not as attached as the layers, but you still grow attached. I mean, look at these guys. Pretty darn cute. But the fact of the matter is, it's necessary and acceptable to kill animals to support feeding your family. Hunting, raising animals, and slaughtering them for their meat is something that you have to get used to on the homestead or any farm. The processing isn't going to be easy, but it's going to happen, and we're going to get some help with some friends to kind of go through it and get the idea of how to do it humanely and quick and without too much mess, because with all the predators around, we do not want the remains of the processing to attract other animals. So there's lots to do, lots to think about, and the next couple months is going to be a race to the finish line. But looking at these guys, it just reminds me life is too short. We need to take any adventure we can, because we just don't know what tomorrow brings.